Hello everyone and welcome to my class. To continue with the fifth chapter of class 10th history, that is the age of industrialization. In this video I will be discussing about factories come up in India, right, and who were the early entrepreneurs. So let's start the topic. As far as the earliest factory that started in India, we see in the form of textile industry only, right? The first cotton mill was set up in Bombay in the year 1854. First jute mill in Bengal in 1855, and first spinning and weaving mill in Madras in 1874. Soon, in the coming decades, uh, there was a number of factories that opened, but initially these factories were in the field of textile. These were only the textile industries that started in India. Right. Now, talking about who were the ones who invested their money in setting up these industries in India. Who were the early Indians who turned up as the entrepreneurs, having their own businesses, right? Who were the ones who invested their money and from where they got the money to invest in setting up the industries, right? These are some important crucial questions, and we'll be discussing about some of the early entrepreneurs who started the factory system in India, right? No doubt the knowledge of factories and industry came from the West, but the initiative taken by the early Indians who invested their money in the factories will be discussing about them. Now, talking about the capital that the early entrepreneurs, Indian entrepreneurs have got, they largely earned this capital from the China trade or the opium trade, we can say. Opium trade was a triangular trade between India, China, and Britain, right? The Britishers used to carry opium illegally into China, and they sold this opium there, making making Chinese people addicted of this opium, and soon there was a demand of opium. The role of India was it was used as a field to grow opium here. Britishers forcing Indian farmers to grow opium from India. They bought this opium and they smuggled it into the China, and when the Chinese people became addicted of opium, they started entering into the Chinese market. This is how the opium trade was carried between three nations, where the participation of India was passive. It was just used as a growing ground of opium, right? The main participant was Britain and Chinese. So the commodity that was exchanged in lieu of opium was the tea, right? So largely this opium trade, many Indians were involved in this trade, right? They were doing other kind of jobs. They were learning some trading tactics from the Britishers indirectly. They performed various tasks in this trade, like providing finances, procuring supplies, and shipping consignments. They were the ones who were working as subordinates to the Britishers, and they learned many things from them, the trading art of from Britishers. Right. So this is how the early Indians who were involved in this opium trade with Britishers, they earned huge profits out of this opium trade, and this profit they have invested in setting up the industries in India. Right. When the opium trade was disturbed, and when the Chinese government raised objection over this illegal trade, then when this trade was disturbed, at that time the Indians who have earned profit from opium trade, they started investing their money on setting up new industries in India. Here are some of the important names like the Dwarkanath Tagore in Bengal. He set up a joint stock company in 1830s and 40s, right? Then in Bombay, Deen Shah Petit, a Parsi businessman, Jamshedji Nusrawanji Tata, they both were of Parsi community, and they helped in building the industries in Bombay region. Then Seth Hukumchand was a Marwari businessman. He invested his money in setting up first jute mill in Calcutta in 1917. Then G.D. Birla, his forefathers, also earned profit from this opium trade. He also started his Birla Empire during that time. Right, so these were some of the prominent names who invested their large capital on setting up new industries in India, and the capital they have earned, or the profit they have earned from the opium trade, that was invested by them in the early industries. Right. Now, talking about these prominent names, apart from them, there were other Indian traders and merchants who were working within India. They were also the ones who invested their money on setting up early factories in India. Right, it's not only that those who earned profit from the opium trade, they were the ones, but there were many who earned profit in doing trade within India. They also invested their money in setting factories in India. Now, where did the workers came from? Whenever such thing happens, when factories and industries started set up, then it required large number of working force, and India, having good population, is never having shortage of laborers and workers. So the people from rural areas, they started migrating from rural areas to such industrial and factory towns where they can easily get the jobs. Right, soon the demand, or soon the employment opportunities were still limited, and people were large in number, so there was no surety whether the people will get job or not. So what happened, soon a class of jobbers appeared. Means they were the old trusted employee or workers of factories or industries, of the industrialists. They trusted them, and they have given the opportunity, or they have given the responsibility rather, to employ workers under them. So mostly if a person living in village having some relative working in factories were having more chances of getting the jobs. Right, so such jobbers were soon gained a position of importance, and they have some authority and power to employ people or to employ workers under them. Right, so they started misusing that authority. Right, they became corrupt. They started demanding some gifts or some money in lieu of whatever the favor they are giving to the workers. Right, so this was the condition of the jobbers. Right, many times a question comes on comparison between Gomastas and jobbers. See, Gomastas were the English people employed by the East India Company to expand their trade in India. Whereas when we talk about the jobbers were Indians, and they were employed, they were the workers, they were all trusted workers within the industries and factories of the industrialists. And the industrialists or the factory owners, they trusted them, and they trusted them, and they have given the responsibility of employing worker under them. So they were actually actually providing work to the people. So this was the difference. Jobbers were Indians, Gomastas were the English people, right, employed by East India Company. and the jobbers are employed by the industrialists or the factory owners, right? So this is the difference between two. So this is all about the early entrepreneurs, how the factory system, how they invested their money in factories, setting up new factories and mills, and about the jobbers, from where the workforce came. It came from the rural areas mostly, and what was the role of jobbers in providing job opportunities to the people who are coming from the rural areas. So this is all about the factory system, how it started in India, and how the Indians invested their money in setting up these industries, right? Hope you like it. Please like, share and review and subscribe this channel. Thank you.